こんにちは、バイスのゆかです。今回バイスが訪れたのはコロンビアのボゴタという地域。この地域が90年代までは世界中で最も危ない場所っていうふうに呼ばれてたんだけど、その犯罪が多い動向っていうのは今回はちょっと置いておいて、政府がですね、死の部隊っていう部隊を持っていて政策を取ってるんだけども、その政策が何かっていうと、とりあえず社会洗浄っていう名目のもと、路上にいるホームレスをとりあえず殺して殺して殺しまくるっていう政策を取ってる。でそれが本当にまかり通ってる場所なんですよ。で、ホームレスとしたらやっぱり路上にいたら危ないからってことで、じゃあどこに住むかっていうのを決めたかっていうと、マンホールの下の下水溝の中、そこに住むって決めたんですね。もちろん人間が住めるような環境じゃないっていうふうに思うと思うけど、実際7歳ぐらいからの時に下に入っていて、十何年間もそこで住んでいて、結婚して出産をしてっていう人までいるんですよ。その死の部隊っていう政策によって1988年から2011年の間で殺されたホームレスの数って本当に8000人とまで言われていて、その中でも話題になって私もすごくショックだったのが15年前に起こった事件。それがですね、死の部隊がマンホールの中にガソリンを注ぎ込んで火をつけて、その結果22人もの子供が焼け死んでしまったんですね。で今回マンホールの下にバイスのクルーで入ってみて、実はそのマンホール着火、22人の子供たちが死んだ時にそれを火を免れて生き延びた人とかにも出会ってきました。今の私たちから考えたら本当に想像ができないような暮らしぶりだけど、こういう現実もコロンビアにはあるんです。ということで、どうぞ。
Hi, I'm Baby Balls. My bosses think I'm a nerd, so they like to send me to live with different people to figure out what they're all about. Anyways, this is that. It's called Balls Deep.
Hi, I'm Thomas Morton. We're here in the sewer system of Bogota, Colombia, a place where for the past 30 years, the city's kind of lower rungs, street kids have sought refuge from the right-wing death squads, which fairly regularly patrol the city above. In the late 80s, kind of the height of the epidemic of street kids here, small business owners and kind of the wealthy elite started raising death squads to help rid their property of what they thought as disposables, a process which they kind of cheerfully called social cleansing. One of the only people in Colombia to help the sewer children, Dr. Jaime Jaramillo, has pulled thousands of kids out of the pipes. But at the same time, a lot of them still remain. We asked Dr. Jaramillo to take us down here and show us how the kids live in some cases and what's in store for the refugees on their way in. This is the same tube that 15 years ago our friend Alberto lived in. We're gonna go sit down and talk with Alberto about having lived in the sewers and about how he's been since. God, not having light down there, just the prospect of that just makes me shudder. Gah.
Vivir en la calle es como huirle a la muerte todos los días. Yo me fui de mi casa cuando era apenas un niño, tenía 7 años, había mucho maltrato, mucha violencia en mi casa. Yo viví durante 2 años casi en las calles y luego sí posteriormente conocí las alcantarillas. En la época que yo estuve en las calles hubo unos escuadrones que se llamaban los escuadrones de la muerte, eran encapuchados que entraban, llegaban en las noches, pasaban en carros y cogían y mataban a los gamines. Entonces por esa razón nosotros teníamos que huir a estar dentro de las alcantarillas. Realmente cuando tú estás ya dentro de una alcantarilla es como al nivel más bajo que puede lograr llegar un ser humano, porque allí se pierde todo.
We're getting suited up. We bought these fishing waders. This almost seems like it might even be a little excessive, but I guess considering what we're about to do, better safe than coming down with cholera or something. Dr. Jaime is going to give me acupuncture now to help my immune system. I hate needles.
With you, we are working the
concerned about this.
immunological system.
Oh, it's treacherous even getting down here.
You see the rat?
Yeah, I just saw that rat scurry up there.
So this is it. This is
bottom of the barrel as far as Western civilization goes. A cave would almost be a step up. It wouldn't be filled with shit and you wouldn't be worried about swimming in filth. It's appalling. Like,
This is the place that they stay.
okay,
They sit here, this is the house, that's the TV.
That's where they sit. There's all these burnt up bottles used as pipes. This is all their stuff. This is where they smoke
Bazuco.
basuco.
This is the crack cocaine. And
Okay, keep going further in. You can see all the fucking gnats and flies. At this point, I'm pretty fucking scared. This is,
you see like the stalactites, the stalagmites, but in shit.
you can get a fresh waft of the smell. It's like shit stalactites, shit sickles. They're smoking out of bent up cans. They're right behind us. They don't want it to be filmed though because they're worried about the police finding out where they are. They're sitting on like the little table.
Mira, te presento tres amigos míos acá. ¿Listo?
We caught them right when they were about to smoke up. So they're all a little jumpy and obviously didn't want to be filmed. They didn't want to because they're afraid that this gets out and the police will know where they are and they'll come and they'll beat the shit out of them.
今回の映像どうでしたか？バイスでは日々オリジナルコンテンツ、アーカイブコンテンツともにこのチャンネルでどんどん配信していくのでチャンネル登録を忘れずに、忘れると損だよ。よろしく。